afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, moms and dads, children of all ages, and welcome to Living on a Thin Line with Tony Vicich. I am the aforementioned Tony Vicich. We come to you 6 days a week at 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We are your daily distraction from all the anger, anxiety, weirdness, and hoopla in the world today. We come to you on 3 platforms, ComedySchoolsRadioNetwork.com, where you can simply listen in, YouTube Comedy Schools, and Facebook Live. Those are, hold on a second. We're having a little camera issue there. There we go. We got it all straightened out. Those are our 3 platforms. The show is then built around at least one of 3 things. Your questions and comments right here on Facebook Live, on YouTube, or on ComedySchoolsRadioNetwork.com. Usually, oftentimes, sometimes, occasionally, rarely, most of the time, always, we have some knick-knack or doodad, or autograph, or memorabilia, or curiosity, or curio, laying around the home office here, which we then share with you and try to weave a magical mystery story around. And we recommend at least one artist or piece of music based off our vast vinyl album and compact disc collection. It is, ladies and gentlemen, the day after Thanksgiving. I hope that you had a good day. I don't know what you did, and I'm really not in the business of telling people how to run their lives. I certainly have my opinions, and I try to make sure that my opinions are based on either reasonable, rational coalescing of pertinent information, are on absolute whims based on my own personal greed. So, what did we do today to celebrate the day after Thanksgiving? Did we participate in Black Friday? It's Black Friday. The best deals in town, Black Friday. All the electronics you want. You want electronics, we got electronics. Get them on Black Friday. By the way, we will follow the black people all around the store to make sure that the black people don't steal on Black Friday. It's Black Friday. Black Friday for everybody, but we didn't do any of that. We did none of that. What we did do was we went out looking for land. I've got this burr in my saddle to go out and get myself some property, just to buy a big old hunk of dirt somewhere. And the whole thing is, for anyone who's never spent any time in the Sonoran Desert, one stretch of Sonoran Desert seems exactly like another stretch of Sonoran Desert, and it just seems to go on forever. And it is mythical and magical and mystical, and also desolate and brutal. It is all of those things. It is the American West. And the thing is, once you decide to go out and buy property, or you decide to start looking for property in the desert, a lot of different things come into play besides tumbleweeds and cactus and dirt, and tumbleweeds and cactus and dirt. So I'm trying to decide if I'm looking for a piece of property just to hold on to just my land, even if it's just dirt, or if I'm looking for a piece of property to eventually subdivide and sell, or if I'm looking for a piece of property to develop myself. But we went out looking around at property today, and I've been on some, I'm from Missouri, so I'm well acquainted with desolate gravel roads. But we were on some desolate yet beautiful. Well, the gravel roads aren't beautiful. I've never seen a gravel road that was beautiful. You might harken back to some sort of nostalgic, romantic concept of what seems to be a much simpler time of my besotted youth. But so I saw some beautiful just expanses of what I think is beautiful. Other people would see and go, this is horrible. But it looks beautiful to me. But I mean, I was back on some gravel roads, back by farms and everyone's old farm, ramshackle farmhouses. We've got them all out here. But we were out looking at land this morning in southern Arizona, not so south, not down Tucson way, but south of us. So that's how we spent our morning. And now we're going to spend our afternoon with you. And how we may well spend our evening will be at JP's Comedy Club, jpscomedyclub.com, 860 East Warner Road. 2 doors down. No, 1 door. No, right next to a Goodwill, which I think is cool. There's good stuff at Goodwills. Okay, good stuff. America needs to shop at Goodwill more instead of buying stuff just online. We do. We need to. You want to talk about neighbor helping neighbor? You want to talk about that? Then just more Goodwill, because that's neighbors decide to give away stuff that you then get to buy for a great price. It's still American capitalism because someone's making a buck. But there's nothing more American. There's nothing more American than someone throwing out their junk and then someone else dusting it off and selling it for a profit. That's about as American as you can get. Goodwill's pretty darn American. I'm not going to do a lot of my Christmas shopping at Goodwill because people notice that. They go, hey, this is from Goodwill. I know because I gave it to Goodwill. And I don't know how much I'm going to spend on Christmas this year. I don't know how much you're going to spend on Christmas this year. Some things are pretty evident right now. And one is they're going to be busting out vaccines as soon as humanly possible. They have to. I think with this administration and with this Republican Senate, they bet everything on a vaccine. There was no national lockdown. There was no big national strategy or plan for dealing with the pandemic. There just wasn't. Okay? The head science guy, who is certainly not Bill Nye, the Charles Atlas, whoever that is. Atlas, Atlas from 3 things up until this year. You knew it from, the Rand McNally Road Atlas. You knew it from, some Greek character. Okay? Or you knew it from Charles Atlas when you were a little skinny kid reading Spider-Man and Superman and Hulk comic books about people who abruptly changed, became superheroes. Charles Atlas ads to build up your body. Charles Atlas and Joe Weider. But now there's a new guy, this Atlas, who's the chief medical guy for one Donald J. Trump. And he's a herd immunity guy. Let's just let it burn through, which is insane. Nothing would wreck this country and economy more than a pandemic, more out of control than it already is. So this administration bet on a vaccine. You know what? And the problem with horse races is if there's 9 horses in the race, okay, they're all going to come, unless they break a leg, they're all going to cross that finish line. But if your horse doesn't come across first, you are not the winner. And the announcements of vaccines started rolling out not too long after the election. We all knew they were coming. Pfizer, Moderna, AstraZeneca. So I think that this administration, which is still hanging on to some weird slither of a thread that they still might be able to continue on for 4 years, this Senate, led by Mitch McConnell, we want to make sure that we stop anything that the radical left Democrats try to do. They are betting on a vaccine as opposed to any sort of stimulus. What probably should happen should be a combination of a stimulus package and a massive rollout of the vaccines. I certainly hope that, and I think they probably have, that this administration has been diligently planning for a way to roll out a mass vaccination program, because that's their plan. Just hold on for a vaccine. And I think it was a dangerous plan. It was a deadly plan. 250,000 people died. We just let that roll off for us right now, don't we? 250,000 people. Some people go, well, a lot of them are already sick. That makes no difference. If someone's 90 years old and in a hospital and given 2 days to live, and someone goes and shoots them, we try them for murder. If you give it 2 days, if someone says they will die by Wednesday and you shoot them on Tuesday, you are tried for murder. And you know what? If it was your grandpa, your uncle, your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your uncle, I already said uncle, niece, second cousin, third cousin, fourth cousin, neighbor, and you heard that happen, then you would demand justice. So don't give me this hoo-ha. Don't give me this boo-ha about, a lot of these people were older people. I have a lot of friends who are older people. I'm entering that older people era. Don't get me to say, well, they had other underlying diseases. If you have diabetes and you get in a car wreck, you died of car wreck. You go, well, you died of car wreck because of diabetes. No, you died of car wreck. Now, maybe you had some low blood sugar attack and just nodded out. I don't know. But you died of car wreck. If you die of coronavirus, you die of coronavirus. So, the question is, we've got at least a month, although they're talking about rolling out some vaccines as early, sometime in December. We got at least a month, but in reality, for most of America, 1 to 6 months before there's a possibility of going back to January of 2020. So we got the possibility of, cramming ourselves into sports stadiums, bumping up against people on the streets of New York, being butt cheek to butt cheek in the beaches, off the beaches of the great American coasts, jammed into a restaurant someplace, dancing at a rave, any of the things, we were doing beforehand, at least 6 months away. Which leads to, what is this Christmas going to be like for you? I don't think that this Christmas is going to be a lot different for us than Thanksgiving was. So there were certainly places we could go. And we have gone a limited amount of places during the pandemic, Shirley and I have. But a limited amount. And we've been very careful. And none of you people go, well, most people don't know how to wear masks. We know how to wear a damn mask, all right? We know how to wash our hands. So that, we've been careful. Okay, but we have reduced our social interactions maybe by 70, 75, maybe up to 1.80, 90%. That being said, yesterday on Thanksgiving, we did not let what could be a very depressing time depress us. And we had a 22-pound turkey. We had mashed taters. And I have not asked Shirley, nor will I ask her. Sometimes you got to have some mystery in life. Sometimes one of the great things in life are the wonders and mysteries of it. And I want it to remain in this life and the next a mystery as to whether she actually got real potatoes and mashed them all up, or if we used store-bought potatoes. I don't want to know. All I know is that the taters tasted good. And yes, I call them taters. And I used to call them taters as a joke, but now that's actually what I call them, taters. And you know what? That doesn't make any difference. How come here's the question, as I'm poking around the dark to try to find a question. Do you have mashed potatoes or do you have mashed taters? And if someone refers to them as mashed taters, does that sound funny to you? And if that sounds funny to you, does it also sound funny to you when someone orders tater tots? Because no one orders potato tots. See, that sounds stupid. Hey, you know what I'd like for a side instead of French fries? What? I'd like some potato tots. Well, that sounds dumb. Potato tots. Tater tots. Everybody says that. Fanciest person in New York City. In Paris, it'd be tater tots. I don't know. I don't speak French. So we had mashed taters and gravy. We had, I made coleslaw for the very first time in my entire life. I made coleslaw. You know what? You got to find new things in life. The new things you find in life when you get in your 60s are a lot different than the new things you find, say, you're 15 at a Grateful Dead show. And you go, oh, wow. Wow, this is new. Now new is not that I've eaten plenty of coleslaw in my day. I made my own coleslaw. And you know what? I didn't buy a bag of coleslaw and then put the dressing on it. No. I made Shirley and her daughter go back to the store. I figured my trade-off for not asking about the taters was they went back to the store. They were appropriately socially distanced and wearing masks and got me a head of cabbage. Do you want to know my, I'm going to give you my recipe. You want to hear my recipe for coleslaw? I'm not going to tell you, size portions, okay? But about a quarter head of cabbage, chopped up. I chopped it up. I didn't grate it. I didn't use I never understood these people. Oh, you know what? With this machine. I don't have to chop anymore. Hell, half the fun's in the chopper, because when you're cut with a knife, you can be imagining all the people who deserve to be under that knife instead of a head of cabbage. And it feels good. It's cathartic. So I chopped me up a quarter head of cabbage, threw it in a bowl, chopped me up a bunch of baby carrots. And I don't know if they're baby carrots. I think they're called baby carrots because they're big carrots that are just shaved down. I have no idea. Okay, chopped up a bunch of baby carrots, put them in there until it looked like a good mix. I didn't go a quarter cup of carrots and 1 cup of until it just looked right. And when I eyeballed it, when that looks good. And then I threw me in some radishes. You know why? Because we have a bunch of radishes and they were going to go bad. And I thought, why let a radish go bad? A radish is a terrible thing to waste. A rash is something you don't want, but a radish you want to eat every once in a while. Toss them all in the bowl, mix them up real good. Then I got me some mayo. I got me some vinegar. And I got me some cane sugar. And I mixed them up in a bowl. And then I poured it over the top, and I slopped them all together, and I put it in the fridge, and it was delicious. Shirley made green beans with little string onion rings in it. And it was a little creamy, too. I'm not going to ask her. I reveal my secrets here, but I don't expect everybody else to. And we had all that with stuffing in the bird, stuffing out of the bird, rolls, and man, it was fantastic. Now, the people who are with us on a regular basis, my stepdaughter, my grandson, were here as well. Okay, but that was our Thanksgiving. Instead of going to a large gathering someplace, instead of traveling across the country, instead of people having people travel across the country, and I've done all of these things, or having a large gathering here, that was it. That was our gathering. And it felt fine. And it felt fine knowing that most of the people that we love who are with us were doing the same. And there was that bond. There was that psychic bond, that psychic connection going across city lines and county lines and state lines, time zones and regions, knowing that other people were doing the same. And my brother Jerry and his wonderful girlfriend Lily, they were doing the same. And my daughter was doing the same. They were all doing it in small gatherings. Okay, that my other stepdaughter and her family were doing the same. All right? So it wasn't like anybody was doing without. We all did the same thing together separately. And I think a lot of you did too. And let's all be honest. We had a pretty darn good day. And didn't it feel good at the end of that day to know that not only did you have a wonderful day, not only did your loved ones have a wonderful day, but you did it without the possibility of endangering someone. Which brings us to Christmas. Am I going to spend as much as I normally do? I don't know. I hope not. But some of these people, they're old enough to buy their own stuff. But we are going to spend for Christmas, put up a tree, we're going to put up decorations. We're going to do all of those things. We do all of them. Okay? But I don't know that we'll do any large gatherings. I don't know that we'll be cramming into any sort of stores, do any sort of crazy shopping. Probably do some shopping online. Okay, but we're gonna have a Christmas. We're gonna have a good one. We're gonna have a good one. And it occurs to me every once in a while to go to church on Christmas. Just go. You guys know what I'm talking about. Those of you who are not regular churchgoers. Those of you who are not regular churchgoers, but are not, are not hard in your opinions. Maybe you go to Christmas church on Easter. Go on Christmas. Someone's getting married in a church. You observe all the ceremonies. You do all of that, But I don't think now, I got to be honest with you. After what I saw on the news the night before Thanksgiving, I don't think what I saw that I'll be going back to. And I have friends who are in the church. I have friends who are not just religious, but are pastors and ministers and preachers. I don't think I'll be going. I think that organized religion showed its true cards the night before Thanksgiving when they forced a case all the way to the Supreme Court having to do with the state of New York being able to limit the number of people who could be inside a church based on if they were in orange zone. They've got things color coded as far as the number of infections in a certain area. And the Archdiocese of New York, I believe, and a sect of Judaism, a local sect of Judaism, brought a case to Supreme Court. And this new Supreme Court, and baby, it's new, ruled that the state of New York could not limit the number of people that a church or synagogue could have in it. Which means we're now in a two-tiered world. One for the secular and one for the religious. And the religious want theirs to be the rule. Now I was raised Catholic. And I know a lot of wonderful Catholics. I got a lot of fine memory of Catholicism. But if you look at the current state of the Roman Catholic Church as it stands in America, and then you read the history of Europe, I don't want these people running anything. I don't want them running anything. I didn't want to run anything when I was raising my daughter. I don't want to run anything now. I want people to be able to worship as they please. I don't want you forcing your worship upon me. And by the way, my ability to stop you from forcing your religion upon me is not cutting into your religious liberties. That is as ridiculous as saying, well, you saying that I can't own slaves is actually cutting into my civil rights on property. So anyway, I wasn't going to go on so long about all that stuff today, but you know what? I got a little talky. You know, running around the desert looking at property makes you feel good. Hey, if you're looking for something fun to do this weekend, and I know you are, and you're looking for good, safe, social distancing fun, you know, where you know you can sit 6 to 8 feet away from people, that the performer will be 12 feet from you, but you'll still be in a real fun setting. Check out JP's Comedy Club, jpscomedyclub.com, 860 East Warner Road. Jim Perry runs a great club down there. This weekend, something fun for everyone. Isaac the Magician, who I've used on several of my shows, and he is he's one of my favorite. And I got a couple favorite magicians right here in town. Isaac the Magician is one of my favorites. If you're looking for something fun to do, still plenty of shows. 2 shows tonight, 7 and 9. 2 shows tomorrow, 7 and 9 p.m. Now, what are we going to talk about today, music-wise? I got so much good stuff sitting around me here. I don't have a lot on this woman as far as her life. Okay. But what do we got here? Okay. We've got, I don't want to use that one. You know, Bob Rocky's watching. Bob Rocky's got a show. Hi, Bob. Hello, Bobby. You know, let's just kind of go wild here. Let's go with the 60s collection. We're going to go with that. Hi, Bobby Rocky. Bob Rocky's watching, ladies and gentlemen. His question was, what the hell is going on here? Let me tell you what's going on, Bob. It's living on a thin line. We come to every, you know that. Bob Rocky will be producing a show, which right now the working title is Silly and Sober, January 20th at JP's Comedy Club. Okay, we now know that portions of the proceeds will go to a sober living home or rehab center, but that hasn't been decided yet. But start marking your calendars now, friends. There'll be some vaccines rolled out by then. Things are going to be, things are going to be much better in January than they are now. I guarantee. And one of the things that'll make it better will be January 20th when the show, and the title might change, but the date won't, January 20th, Silly and Sober, featuring Bob Rocky, Tony Vicich, Jim Perry, and a cast of sober comics who are funnier than any drunk comic. All right, Bob, that's what the hell's going on here. Trying to help you out, Bob. All right, here's where we're going to work from. We're going to work from the 60s collection. All right, so this is an interesting CD. And I probably bought this CD. It says Excelsior. It says the 60s collection, volume 2. And there's not a lot going on inside it as far as it's blank, as you can see. And I'm pretty sure that this was a bootleg ripoff. So if you travel by car in America very much, you'll eventually stop at one of those great big giant truck stops. Pilot, the one on Vicksburg. The one in Vicksburg's got the giant American flag. You know, when I was a kid, it was Stuckies. Were everywhere. Giants, sprawling gas station truck stops that have sandwich shops in them and other little stores set up, in limited spaces and all kinds of candy and junk. It's almost like a grocery store of bad food. You get coffee one side, the truck drivers getting their diesel on the other side, tourists and traveling salesmen getting their gas. And they'll be selling oftentimes CDs. And a lot of those were bootleg. And I'm pretty sure in my travels as a stand-up comic in a rental car with a compact disc player, I picked this up. Okay. They put their thing on here. Okay. It's made in Canada. Okay. This compilation, 1995. Yeah, I'm positive that's when I got it. St. Clair Entertainment Group Incorporated. They have a P.O. Box. We should write them. P.O. Box 34512, Saint Laurent, Quebec, Canada, and then whatever their zip code is. Here is what is on here. The 60s collection. Okay? Louie Louie by the Kingsmen. Duke of Earl by Gene Chandler. It's My Party by Leslie Gore. Save the Last Dance for Me by the Drifters. Ferry Across the Mersey by Jerry and the Pacemakers. Wild Thing by the Trogs. Little Old Lady from Pasadena by Jan and Dean. I'm Into Something Good by Herman's Hermits. One Fine Day by the Chiffons. And Venus and Blue Jeans. And I think the one that has lasted the longest in people's minds is I'm Into Something Good, because I think that was in Something About Mary. Something tells me I'm into something. So a lot of them have kind of faded into obscurity. All right, but if I was going to pick a song off of here to recommend today, it's not going to be Wild Thing by the Trogs. It's still played a lot. It's not going to be Little Old Lady from Pasadena by Jan and Dean, almost a novelty record. It's not going to be I'm Into Something Good by Herman's Hermits, because we kind of know that one too much. It's going to be, because I've been doing mostly women singers, it's going to be It's My Party by Leslie Gore. Now, here's my challenge to you. It's My Party by Leslie Gore. Here's my challenge to you. Listen to this song. We'll have up at the end of the show, we'll have links, so you'll be able to just press the link right there and listen to it. My challenge to you is that you listen to that song and tell me that it didn't perk you up just a little bit. It is such a well-crafted teen angst pop tune. Okay? And it's classic in its execution in that the lyrics are sad, yet the music is happy. So very similar to the blues. It's My Party. It's very similar to the blues, where you have this beautiful music and then these very sad lyrics. Like most classical love songs, which are about lost love, It's My Party is about a young teenage girl having her own party at her house, almost probably like 13 years old. And a friend of hers showed up at the party with, and her realizing that her boyfriend has been with this other girl. And even though it's her birthday party, it's her graduation party, she breaks down crying. And that's what the song is about. Yet the music is so infectious and so fun that if you were a teenager when the song came out, you couldn't help but jump up and dance around a little bit. Leslie Gore's It's My Party. That's what we're recommending today. You know why? Because it's a feel-good song, and I want you to feel good. It's a fun song. I want you to have fun. Also, remember, if you want to have fun out of the house, we're going to recommend only one place, and that's JP's Comedy Club. 2 shows tonight, 2 shows tomorrow. All right, that's our show. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I'll be back Sunday, not tomorrow, Sunday, with a brand new Living on a Thin Line. Bye-bye.